Hello everybody, and today we will be taking a look at this shoe here, part of a pair of course, and this shoe is by Suitsupply, which is, well, as the name says, predominantly a company that sells suits, retails suits from the Netherlands, from Holland. I'm sure many of you have heard of it or know it, or maybe even own some suits. And they also offer different clothes, and they also offer shoes, and I thought I might try a pair. I just wanted a pair of Chelsea boots. I don't really wear Chelsea boots very often, but I thought, oh, I'll give them a shot. And I ordered these off the internet. I didn't try them on in the shop, which, well, was a mistake. I'll tell you why in a minute. And today we'll talk about my experience with these. Well, oh, and also, excuse the cold. I've got a bit of a sniffy nose. So, having a look at these shoes here, this boot is a simple Chelsea boot in a dark brown suede, and I got this pair, I don't know, probably like a good year and a half ago, something like that. I have to say I don't really wear it very often. Sometimes when I feel like wearing a Chelsea boot, I will wear it, but it's really not a very comfortable shoe. And one of the reasons is that as you may know from some of my other videos, I have a fairly wide foot, and these shoes are incredibly narrow. They are incredibly narrow. I usually wear a 9.5 or sort of a 43.5, 44 European. This shoe here is a 10, a UK 10, US 11, and a European 44. So this should be fairly large, but even so, even lengthwise, I guess it's fine. It's just insanely narrow. I mean, if you just look at the top here, it's just very, it's unusually narrow. And I remember getting them. I thought, God, it's even though the ball of my foot sits correctly, so lengthwise they're fine. They were just so uncomfortable. But I thought, you know what, I might be able to break them in. I'll keep them, and I got these on sale as well. They were on, I don't know, they were reduced by, I don't know how much I paid for them. It wasn't an awful lot, and 100 and something, maybe 140 euros. So I thought, I'll just keep them, wear them in, break them in, try to see what happens. But sometimes it doesn't work out. Maybe a couple of stats to this shoe. It's a Blake stitch. Like I said, Suede Chelsea boot. It's got a rubber sole, as you can see here. Construction is fine, I guess, but it's nothing too special or too fantastic. But it's anything you would pretty much expect. I guess you wouldn't really expect them to be very, very high quality. But yeah, generally a fine shoe. The last I don't particularly like. I think it's not very. It's not really, let's say, strong in character. It's quite a strange looking last. You really need tight trousers or jeans or whatever and even then it sort of makes my foot look just really narrow and tiny. It could be a woman's shoe, actually. I mean, that's what I find. So anyway, I don't want to throw them out. I've got them, and I don't really wear them very often. And I have to say, whenever I do wear them, what happens is my feet generally hurt at the end of the day, or usually after a couple of hours of wearing them. So I'll use this occasion to introduce a method of stretching a shoe, which I haven't done yet, but I will do now. And I'll like to let you know how to do that. Well, to use that, you need one of these. I believe you can get these in plastic as well, but usually in wood is the best way to go. This is a shoe stretcher, or it's actually a boot stretcher. You can use these on shoes or boots, wherever. The shoe stretchers are a bit shorter here because you don't have to sort of get the same angle as you would on a boot. So in this case, I got the boot stretcher, so I can use it for boots as well as shoes. And basically, what it is, it's quite a hefty piece of wood around here, and you can add on these little buttons. Say, for example, if you have a pain in a pressure spot point on your little toe, for example, or you want it maybe slightly larger, or some people have them on the other side, the sort of larger toe area, wherever you have a pressure point, you can stick these on. Today, I will just want to just stretch the shoe generally without placing the emphasis on one particular spot. So how do you do that? Well, first of all, you'll have to use one of these. Well, you can either use a spray, but this is a ready-made spray, but you can also, it's just a mixture of alcohol and water. But I buy this spray here, and what you do is, I've already soaked this in. You practically go inside the shoe. Some people say you can spray from outside as well. I definitely wouldn't do it on a suede shoe, but and some people will also advise not to spray the outside because it can affect the finish of the shoe. You go from the inside, spray it a couple of times, which I've already done here, and then you wait about 5 minutes just for it to soak in, and it softens up the leather a bit. Right, and when you've done that, what you do is you insert the top part of the stretcher, and then you just turn this lever here until the stretcher tightens up until about now, and now you just sort of stretch it once, twice, maybe, yeah, probably about like that. So 2.5 times I've done this until it gets nice and tight, but don't overdo it because you can probably damage the leather or overstretch. So if you want to stretch it quite a bit, which you could do, I would just wait, say, a day or so, leave this in for a day, and then stretch it again, maybe tomorrow or the day after or something, and just like incrementally, stretch it up slightly. And that way, here you can tell right now, yeah, there you go, I'll probably leave it like that. So I turn this about, yeah, probably about 2.5, nearly 2 3/4 times maybe. And yeah, you just leave it like this overnight, and after a couple of hours, if you take it out, the shoe will feel larger, and you can just repeat that a couple of times, and at the end of the day, you'll have a shoe that will be slightly more comfortable if you have having the same issue as I am with this really, really narrow shoe. So if you're thinking of going for Suitsupply, I love the suits, I love the shirts, I love the clothes. Shoes I wouldn't recommend, to be honest. Not only because everyone has a different foot shape. If you have narrow feet, sure, you could go for it. But I just find, if you're going to buy a nice pair of quality leather shoes, there are other options that I find is of better quality. Even when not considering the size issue that I had. Right, thanks a lot for watching this video, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.